welcome back to the Formula X Championship Series, the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix here in Imola. We are now into our qualifying session where the drivers are now out for their outlaps to determine where they are going to position themselves on the grid for the following sprint race. Top of the timing sheets from the practice would suggest that it's going to be a shootout between Archer and Attenborough, and then we're going to have Giles in close contention as well. Archer, who posted a 121.7, Attenborough was very close behind on the softs, and then it was between Giles and Black on the medium tires as well, with Sparks trailing with upwards of 4.5 seconds gap between him and Archer in first. So it'll be interesting to see if he can pull those lap times together and improve his position into the sprint race itself. But right now it is Sparks who has actually set in purple sectors, as we would expect. He was the first one out. So when we go Sparks and Giles, Flack and Attenborough, they've all gone out on the soft tyre. It's Archer who's only opted to stay on the medium. And there we go, so setting the bar for us now. Aaron Sparks 126. Although, as we saw from practice, as the track develops, we should expect to see those lap times improve dramatically over the course of the session. And Archer is proving that point. He is currently set the purple sector in sector 1. Sparks again, he's gone out for a second lap and he has improved again on even his first lap. So we're going to stay on board with him now, and we're going to see how he's going to do for his second flying lap. See if he can make any improvements, cut that time down. He's got some competition. He wasn't able to improve from sector 2, and it's Archer at the moment. He's just posted the fastest lap, 125.2. that puts him up into first, but fastest lap is 1.8 seconds, and he's just completed the time. He's improved, but he wasn't able to move up into first. He's 0.07 of a second behind Archer. Damage on board now with Attenborough though. He's improved. He is set purple sector in sector 1, dealing with a little bit of traffic, and Black there set, and he's moved up into first. 125 is now the time to beat. He is in provisional pole, but Attenborough is coming back fighting. He is purple in sector 1. And he is making improvements in sector 2 as well. As he crosses, he gets the purple sector for sector 2 as well. He is on a flyer. As he comes around the penultimate corner, one more turn to go. Again, he has got improvement. He is green and purple in his mini sectors, but as he crosses the line, DRS flap open, and he does. He takes first, 123.8. Following on board with Archer now. He was the fastest in the practice session, and he's made some slight improvements as well in his flying laps, and we'll wait to see how he performs. He does set the first purple sector. After performing so well in the practice, he will not be happy to be settling for fourth. He will be gunning for first place, as he is capable to do. We know that on a fully fleshed out track they can be achieving 121s. So over the next few minutes we should expect track development to improve our lap times. But Neil Archery's set purple sectors in 1 and 2. He crosses the line now. And he does. He takes first fastest. He is now in provisional pole, 122.5. So with just under 6 minutes of the time remaining, it's currently Neil Archer who sits on pole, 122.5. Attenborough, he's on a 123.5. He's got some improvements to make as well there. And Flack is sitting on third with Sparks behind him and Giles in fifth. No drivers currently are improving on their previous lap times, so we shouldn't expect to see any real improvement or any movement in the standings at the moment. But right now we're with Giles, our current championship leader. As he crosses the line, he takes third fastest. A nice jump for Giles there, which will give him the much better standing in the sprint race to follow. He will sit on the second row just ahead of Flack. Into the final chicane, nice and smooth, no drama there. He's got improvement, but nothing to suggest that he's going to take pole from this session. As he comes around the final turn, he's improved in 1. The DRS flap open again, crosses the line, he's going wide. No, he's made improvements, but not able to change his position. He stays in 4th with 2nd, 3rd and 4th separated by less than 400th of a second. This is amazing, and hopefully this is to show what a fantastic sprint race at least this is going to make out to be. So with less than a minute to go, the only drivers out looking to improve their positions: Giles, Sparks and Attenborough. Attenborough is making improvements on his previous laps. And he's got Sparks very quickly behind him. Hopefully looking to take advantage of the toe, but he does look like he's a bit too far behind. But it's Attenborough that crosses the line at the moment. He's got 2 green sectors and he takes 2nd fastest. So he is now on the front row of the grid. He will be there to pressure Archer. That concludes the qualifying session. So we've got Neil Archer in first. He set the bar 122.5. Attenborough wasn't able to pip him to the mark. He is on the front row of the grid just behind him. Giles sits in 3rd. Then we've got Flack in 4th and Sparks is in 5th position. Okay, the lights are counting down. 6 lights are on. And it is lights out and away we go. And we'll just wait for the camera to return. There we go. Looks like Attenborough and Archer both got fantastic starts. Attenborough will have the inside line going into turn 1 chicane. And by the looks of things, we've got Flack, who's managed to get inside Archer. And Giles is having another go at him as well. So Archer has dropped down into 4th position. And he is going to be under threat from Gideon as well, but what looks like it's Giles who has gone off. He's hit the sands and he is losing positions now. He's dropped down into 5th. Black getting a fantastic start. He has moved up into 2nd. On board now with Sparks, who's closing down Archer. And Thomas not getting the start that he wanted. He's currently 4 seconds behind Giles at the moment. Archer has got Sparks, who may potentially make a move. No, he won't. But Attenborough is leading the way and he's getting the gap. He's managed to improve it up to 2 seconds. Who was a fantastic start. Giles now running a bit wide. He's locked up. He's gone deep. And it's Attenborough. What has happened to Attenborough there? He is moved down into 5th. So what looks like there was a bit of contact between the drivers. There will be a look into that, I'm sure. But that has moved Flack up into 3rd. Giles has also made a leap into 2nd place as well. So the 2 Red Bulls are now on the 1-2 leading this sprint race on lap 2. And we're looking in the distance. We've got 2 drivers in the distance there who ran off, who are running wide. There's lots of contact, lots of battles going on here. Well, Archer trying to capitalise. He's moved up into 3rd, so he's currently sitting behind Sparks. Giles has had some kind of an incident, dropped down into 5th. And he will soon... Oh, and Archer, he's made a mistake. He's clipped... It looks like he just clipped the runoff. Lost a bit of traction. And unfortunately, that will drop him down into 6th, which will allow Thomas the opportunity to move up into 5th as well. But right now, it's Flack who's leading the way. He's 4 seconds ahead of Spark at the moment. We've got a battle there. Bit of contact between Attenborough and Sparks. And that has allowed Sparks is on the sands now by looks of it, not able to get back on the track. And there was a spin as well. Thomas has spun. On board we've got Sparks there, who's currently in 3rd, who's got Giles behind him. DRS has been enabled, so once they get back onto the main straight, DRS will be active for the drivers. Right now it's odd and Spicy ran deep. He must have locked up under braking, and that's going to give Giles, that's going to open the door for Giles. He's going to take 3rd now. And as we move into, well, we're now in lap 4. It is Flack that leads the way in 1st and has the fastest lap as well. Attenborough is in 2nd, Giles 3rd, Sparks in 4th, Archer's in 5th, and 6th is Thomas. And looks like Spark is run wide again. He's hit the sand, he's dropped down, and that's going to allow Archer to move up into 4th position as well. Oh, the track proving tricky for the drivers who are looking to gain positions, because as I said, their finishing positions in this is going to determine where they start in the official race. Oh, and Sparks has just crossed the camera there after what's like, what I can imagine is another mistake. He's got wing damage as well, so that's going to be detrimental to his performance in his lap times. Maybe give Thomas the opportunity to close the gap on him. Riding on board with Giles. DRS will be open now. And Attenborough has set the fastest lap, 1:23. And Archer responds in kind, half a second a lap faster. The DRS train is active now, so it will be harder for the drivers to catch up with each other. Archer now closing the gap on Giles. He will be on fire at the moment, looking to redeem himself. He was on pole. He dropped down into fourth in the first lap as they go into the Variante Alta. 0.3 seconds now. Archer holds the fastest lap on the medium tyres, trying to close down on Giles. Just 2 laps remaining. Will he be able to do it? They won't be able to take advantage of the DRS, as Giles will have access to that on Attenborough as well. Seconds between Archer and Giles. It is the battle for third place at the moment. Not that the finishing position is what Archer is after, but that point might make the difference, especially as Giles is the championship leader. He will not want Giles to get any more points than what Archer will get. At the moment, Giles will increase that lead to 31 points. But as they go down the start-finish straight, one of the longest straights and the fastest as well. Will Archer make a move? No, he won't. He won't have that opportunity. He will look for the better exit. It was opportunity to try and get down the inside. It wasn't enough for him. And it looks like the attempt may have cost him as well, as he's hit the grass and he's now lost that time. But Giles is now less than a second on Attenborough, just ahead of him. Both Giles, and he's actually made it. He's managed to make a move. Oh, and he's run a bit deep. He's oversteered. He's locked up, and we can see Archer as well. He's done the same. He's ran wide into the corner, and that's going to give Attenborough. He's making a move, but not even close to making it going through the chicane. He will need to give that position back, which he does. So Giles is currently in second, Attenborough in third. But that's this, and it's Anne Flack who wins the sprint race, but this is the battle. 4 seconds. And there we go. It is Giles in second, Attenborough in third. Archer finishes the race in fourth, but as he did get the fastest lap in qualifying, he will automatically move up into first for the race itself. And it will be Sparks in fifth, and Thomas will come behind. There he is. He will be coming around the final corner. He will start the race in sixth. And we're counting down with just 20 seconds to go until the start of this race. The lights are coming on. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen, lights out and away we go for round 4 of the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. And it looks like Flack and Giles have got fantastic starts. They've moved up into first. Sparks is progressing as well. He once just moved into third but dropped down into fourth. Moving back into third as well, making moves on Archer. And it's Attenborough who's lost out. He's moved down into fifth. He's got Thomas coming in behind him as well. Attenborough trying to make a move on Archer, not able to. Sparks running wide, hitting the sand. He has now dropped into last place from that little mistake. Little bit of movement from Flack as we go around the hairpin. And it's Giles who is now in first place of this race. Go, Archer in third place now with Attenborough behind him, just like it was in the qualifying session. Now it has moved into the race, and them two will be battling it out for the first place, we would expect. Attenborough just hitting the green section of the outer limits of the track. That will lose him some grip and some time as well. But it's Giles on the medium tyres who has moved into first position, like we would expect from our championship leader. He has made the move he needed to make, and it's now Archer who is down into third. And it's Thomas who's also now just made a move on Attenborough as well. As they entered the Variante Tamburella, and it's now Thomas who's moved up into fourth position. And Archie now trying to close down the gap on Flack. He's got Thomas behind him. It's been a while since Thomas has been involved in any of the league races of the FXCS. He will be looking to get back into contention to move himself up in the standings of the championship fight. But if he's going to make any headway though, he has got to get past Archer, the fastest lapped driver at the moment, who has slipped down into third. He will be looking to make a move on Flack as soon as he can. DRS now has been enabled. All of our leading drivers at the moment are on the medium compounder tyre. It's only Attenborough who chose to start on the softs, and it is not working out for him at the moment. Oh, and Archer's run wide, and that has allowed Thomas, who's managed to make his way from the back of the grid up into third, capitalising on the mistakes of the other drivers. And Attenborough on the soft tyre is now hunting down Archer as well. He'll be looking to get ahead before the wear on that soft compound tyre degrades way too much, and he won't be able to take full advantage of its speed. Giles now 2.5 seconds ahead of Black, who is in second. He also holds the fastest lap so far, but we will expect those to come down dramatically as the track develops and the cars lose their weight from any of the fuel if they've decided to load up first. And Archer running a bit wide as well, coming round the penultimate turn. Now split again with the cars if they're feeling a bit heavy. Then coming down the hill into that double left-hander. They'll need to judge their braking zones a lot earlier to make sure that they can make the corners in time before the cars lighten up. But Thomas is in full fighting force. He's just set the fastest lap of the race, 1:24.6. Black now just half a second behind Giles. Not able to make anything of it, but all of our drivers fairly close together. Sparks, who is the driver that's lost out at the moment, he's currently 8 seconds even behind Attenborough. Archer and Attenborough, what we expected to be the fighters for the lead of this race, are down in the back of the pack. Black looking to close the gap, what could possibly wanted to make a move. It's a bit twitchy coming out of the Variante Alta. So that's going to lose him a bit of time, allow Giles to break away a little bit, and Thomas is looking to gain another place as he's just 0.2 seconds behind as they go down the start to finish straight. And getting close, he's in the wing, he's going to make a move down the inside of the Variante Tamburello. He's alongside, he's ahead, and he's managed to make a move. He's now got himself a car length ahead of Flack, and that has moved Thomas into second place. Fantastic, excellent driving there, drivers giving each other space. And that is the kind of overtaking we expect to see from Thomas, but will he be able to maintain that consistency throughout the course of the race? We are on lap 5 of 31, and Black will be looking to make a move. He will want to return and get that position back, so he will be hot on the heels of Thomas. But that's not going to stop Thomas's performance, and Giles has made a mistake. He has made a mistake coming out of the Aqua Minerale, and there's contact as well. Flack has made contact with Thomas, who is now suffering, unable to get himself into contention. Flack has given the position back, but that is not going to matter because Archer has taken full advantage of it, and it looks like Thomas's tyres have overheated, and going into the Rivata after all of the hard work that Thomas had managed to achieve. That is now just dropped down from a potential first after the mistake of Giles, and has dropped down into 5th with Sparks on his tail now as well. Riding on board with Thomas now. He is fast approaching. Flack coming down the start finish break. He's made a move before. He'll be able to do it again. He's just set the fastest lap time, 1:24.2. Closing down the gap. Looking like he's got a better exit. Flack was a little bit twitchy coming out of the corner. That will allow Thomas to be able to close the gap even more. Half a second between them now. And looking at the ahead of the grid, Attenborough has been able to make a move on Archer as well. Riding on board now, Archer, who will be looking to gain that place back. It was Attenborough who's on the soft compounder tyre, who's going to have a little bit more grip, but those tyres are now 9 laps old. So will Attenborough be able to defend well? We will see as we go down into the Variante Alta. Archer not able to make a move, but still able to get a better exit. He will have the slipstream going down into the Rivata. Just half a second between them both now. And there we go. It is Attenborough who's pulled into the pits, ready to change the tyres. That will give Archer up into second. So will Attenborough be looking to make the undercut and hopefully be able to stay ahead of Archer once Archer's made his pit stop as well. Thomas is looking to gain the position on Flack. It's been a great and interesting battle between them both. Unfortunately, a battle that led to a bit of contact, which cost Thomas his positions, but there's still plenty more time, plenty of opportunities in this race left to go. Going down into the Ravazza, it looks like Thomas has got a better exit. He will have more speed coming out of the corner, going down into the straight. Both of them with their DRS open, as Flack will also have DRS on Archer as well. And Thomas looking like he wants to make a move around the outside. He's not going to be able to make it, so he'll have to bide his time, wait for another opportunity. But it looks like there was a little bit of contact between them, as there's potentially a little bit more wing damage between the two drivers. None of them have been looking into pitting to repair it though, so they obviously don't feel like it's a major issue to them. But nonetheless, they will be suffering some downforce issues. And Archer looks like he's spun. You did see some smoke in the distance, and that has moved both Flack and Thomas up into second and third respectively. Archer's down in fourth, and that will, once Archer's had his pit, no doubt Attenborough will be able to get ahead on that as well. But Thomas is now making a move. He's diving down the... Looks like he's diving down the inside. He's been able to make the move nice and cleanly, no drama or effort there at all, and that's moved him up into second place again. Both drivers still awaiting to do their pit stops, so we'll have to wait and see where they come out in respect to Attenborough, who's already pit. But it's Giles who is ahead up in first. Now the gap between Giles and Thomas, 6 seconds. Looks like Thomas looking to increase that gap now, so he's managed to get himself 1.1 seconds ahead of Flack, trying to give himself safe space. And we're still waiting for a review on the previous incident between these two drivers, whether they will take into consideration that Flack did give the position back, but it did cost him all the same. Giles now in the pits, ready to change his tyres. That's going to put Thomas up into provisional first. And Attenborough is on the very closely on the exhaust of Sparks as they come around the Ravazza. Both drivers again will have DRS, so they won't be able to take advantage of it. It will rely on Attenborough's pure speed. But fortunately for him, this battle with Sparks has not impeded him too much. He has come out ahead of Archer, who is in the pits now. But as this race continues, as we're near the halfway stage, it's Thomas who is currently sitting in first. Giles is 21 seconds behind, and he is closing down that pit window. Sparks has run wide and has made contact with the barrier. Attenborough will move past smoothly. He will take that invitation to pass Sparks with open arms. No hesitation there, and it could be believed that just the wear on the medium tyres for Sparks are a bit too much, and just looks like he locked up And there we go again as he comes around the Variante Alta. He's just not able to maintain grip. So we should expect him to come into the pits pretty soon as well. Attenborough now closing down the gap. He's just 1.8 seconds behind Giles now. Riding on board with Attenborough, closing down that gap, going into the Variante Alta. Getting a good exit, nice smooth line. Down the hill into the Rivata. This is where time is gained or lost, and it looks like both drivers doing well going around the final corner. Looks like Giles were just turned in a bit too much. He would have lost some speed from that, but it won't be enough to affect him at the moment. With Attenborough not able to close the gap that little bit more. Thomas is in the pits now, and it looks like he will come out. He will come out ahead of Archer, but he is now dropped down into 4th place. So now it is the battle for first. Giles moving back into 1st place, which is where he was before the first round of pit stops. And it's Attenborough hunting him down at the moment. Once again looking to redeem himself for the incident that he caused himself in round 3 in the Melbourne track just a couple of weeks ago, where he completely dominated the first half of the race. But his tyre strategy let him down, moved him out of the podium positions, and he looks like he's gone in a bit too deep. He's run wide of the Rivata. He manages to clip the sand. That will lose him some space, and could potentially, we've got Flack in the distance. It will take advantage of Attenborough's mistake. Not enough at the moment to cause any real drama. And we've got Flack now hot on the heels of Attenborough. He got the better exit coming out of the Variante Alta. It's just 0.2 seconds between them now. And Flack looks like he was making a move we won't be able to see just yet as we wait for the director's cameras to change. There we go. We can see how this battle is going to progress. As we just saw, we've got Ant Flack, who's got a 5-second penalty for that collision caused to Thomas earlier on in the race. He's got a DRS. He'll be looking to make a move on the inside. No, he won't. He won't be able to make it, not close enough. But he'll have the drag, he'll have the the slipstream effect. Attenborough will not have DRS on Giles though, so this will be the opportunity Flack will be after to gain 2nd position. Wouldn't expect to make a move just yet, but Flack will have to by this time. As long as he can be patient, get a gooder exit. He's got the better exit. And he's ahead going into the Variante Alta. He's going down the outside and he's made the move. In such a narrow space, he's been able to do it. There we go. It looks like Attenborough may have just backed out of that turn just a little bit, but Attenborough will now have DRS. Possibly looking to take the battle back to him. And we're on board with Archer now, who's dropped down into 6th place, so he's allowed Sparks even to make a move on him and taking the position from him. So Archer, who was primed to be at the very ahead of the grid, has now dropped to the very back of it. But Giles and Attenborough are both in the pits for the second round of pit stops. So that will move Thomas back up into provisional first. And we'll have to wait and see how these strategies will play out to see whether Thomas can come ahead with this. But there's just 6 laps in this race remaining. So, from what we can see, Giles managed to come out ahead of the pack, so he's now remained in 2nd place. It's Attenborough, who's the loser of the pit stop there, who's dropped down into 4th. So he came out behind Flack, so Flack must have got the undercut on his pit stop. Archer has made a move on Sparks. He's got himself back up into 5th, but Sparks will be looking to come back at him, but not with that exit out of the very anti-outer. Managing to hit the green of the outer limits. That will cost him some time, allow Archer to progress and get ahead. But Thomas is the one who is leading the race at the moment. 5 laps remaining in this 31 lap race of the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. Giles ahead. He had set the fastest lap, but it's now Attenborough with a 1:22.9. He currently is primed to get the point for the fastest lap, but there's still another 5 laps of this lap still to go. But Attenborough is closing down the gap on Flack, who is on the older tyres, and it seems like he was able to make the move pretty straightforward. And yep, Flack looks like he kept the door open for Attenborough. He made the move, he's got past, and Attenborough is now on a podium for 3rd place. And Sparks is now in the pits again, so he's in for another pit stop. And Thomas is really trying to ride out those soft tyres, but they are going to be really old. And it will be interesting to see if he will be able to keep them alive long enough. We've got 4 laps of the race remaining. Flack has the 5-second penalty, so he needs to keep that gap ahead of Archer if he wants to keep hold of 4th. But the gap between our leaders is 2.5. Giles can see Thomas up ahead. Thomas is on older tyres. He's only had the 1 pit stop. Moved on to softs. So Giles' softs will be a lot newer, a lot fresher, but the tyre deg is still quite high. So it depends if Thomas can hold off long enough before Giles's tyres hit the cliff as well. But Thomas is doing a fantastic job. He's increased the gap now to 3.5. Just 3 laps of this race remaining. It's all to play for now. Will Thomas be able to hold off? But it's Flack at the moment who's managed to get himself within overtaking distance of Attenborough ahead. He's got DRS, he's got that overspeed, he is going down the inside of turn 1. Will he hold it? No, he's braked earlier. Attenborough managed to brake later and held it. A fantastic display of racing from these two drivers now. And just with 2 laps remaining, Giles is in the DRS range of Thomas ahead. And less than a second between them now as we close down this 31 lap race. Will Giles be able to make it? Or will Thomas be able to hold him off long enough and take his first race win of the FXCS 22? It is all down to the wire. We can see the flap opening of Giles. Not able to make any move. A bit twitchy coming out of the chicane for Thomas. Nice and clean for Thomas. And it's Giles who's trying to make a move, go around the outside of the Peratella, not able to make it. So Thomas was able to defend himself well, but there's still 1 lap remaining. Giles will have DRS as they come in now to the Variante Alta. Who will get better braking, nice and smooth, no drama there from either driver, but Giles will be able to close the gap by a couple of tenths of a second. The gap between them now 2 seconds. Giles is going around the outside as they go around down the hill into the rat. So there's a bit of contact, and it's left Giles spinning. And going down into the Ravazza, and Attenborough has managed to go ahead, and it is Gideon Thomas that has won the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. Judgery Attenborough has come in second. We couldn't see. It didn't look. It looked like a racing incident. We're not too sure. We'll have to take a look from the race review.